because the traditional from the 60s and the 50s, the 60s and the 70s, those people that truly believed in the traditional household, and because we were at 80% in the 50s and the 40s, 50s and 60s, the marriage rate. We were at 80%. Those people are dying off. Those people are dying off. So as those people that were in traditional homes and believed in a traditional marriage, as they die off, the marriage rate is going to shrink and the nuances is going to take over. The new people who think the way they think and believe what they believe, that's going to take over. So the marriage rate is going to drop. The divorce rate may just go higher. The average divorce is around 8 years, 8 or 9 years. And the second marriage is around the same thing. But they changed, the states from, remember when you had to go to court and state your case and, they grant you a divorce? Remember that? Mm. Now it's no fault divorces. No fault divorces. You can just go to court and just say, I ain't happy. And you get a divorce.
Well, it ain't just this.
I want to speak to the women out there, okay? Now look, you tell me if you think this is fair. I'm 40 years old. I married this woman when I was 33. After only knowing her 7 months, and no, I ain't getting no prenup or none of that, but she didn't have nothing. Me, I had a $1.5 million house in Hoover, Alabama. Me, I had the Mercedes in the driveway. I went to law school. I was the one up studying all them late nights. Didn't even know who this woman was back then, right? Now, you mean to tell me it took me 40 years to make all this, and this person who I've only known for 7 years, won't have of everything it took me 40 years to make? Now, I want to ask all the women, do you think that's fair? Do you think that is fair? Think of me as if I was your daddy or if I was your brother, and you saw me studying all them nights. That was me at Emory all them nights studying. I didn't even know this woman. Now she won't half of what it took me 40 years to make. Well, I tell you, divorce sure ain't fair. I did everything the Bible tell you.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to Kansas Conversations. I am your host, Kyra. And as you can see from the introduction, Sean and Derek chose violence because they chose this topic. So it ain't about me. And as you can see, homeboy is highly upset because he did everything that the Bible told him to do. And he still got to give up. Hey. So, hey. It is what it is, and it do what it do. Let's get this show started. Let's bring on Mr. Boshawn Davis.
I have nothing to do with this topic. I don't know why you keep throwing me in this nonsense. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
You and Derek in the brotherhood. That's what that's about. You, Derek, in the brotherhood. Hey, Pinky.
Oh God.
Yes. Y'all brotherhood, you and Derek, y'all like, that's all right. I see Pinky up here. She got my back.
Let the sisterhood begin.
Hey, today it got to be a sisterhood. Hey, sister. Hi,
I have nothing to do with this. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Pinky already unsaid it. She said, Sean, don't start your ish.
I ain't even do nothing.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Let's get Mr. the big troublemaker of the bunch, Mr. Derek the Deacon.
We is back and we is live in true color. The brother has stated he did everything. He did everything. The good Bible told us he didn't even know her when he was studying. He didn't know her. The Benz was already in the driveway. She had a bus pass.
Yo, he mad as hell. he mad as hell right now that he got to give up that 50.
That's why you should have just kept her. As soon as she would have said that 50, I was like, let me get you your sector of the house.
So is it a thing to whereas the courts ruled on him having to do that, or that's just something that she's asking for?
That anger?
Well, like, hell, the way he sound like she got more than 50.
Right. No, meaning it could be the audacity to even bring that forth. Is that something that he had to?
I mean, I guess
to split his assets, or is she just asking for it?
She could be just asking for it. She could be, but there ain't no reason to be that goddamn mad about it if she ain't give it to you yet, right? If you ain't had to give it to her yet, he a lawyer. He know he should know better. He know law.
Right. You got some nerve. You cuss people out. You cuss people out for cutting you off in traffic. If somebody was asking for half of your sandwich, you would cuss their ass out. Somebody asked for half of 1.5 million in your home, in your cars, you would tear their behind up. You better stop.
I didn't do it. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
Yo, that man is a lawyer, so he should know better. He should know better. He
should, but sometimes
know better.
Love makes you do crazy things, and
then did y'all catch that? I married her after 7 months.
Yep.
You ain't even know that chick, and you married her after 7 months with no prenup.
Because love make you do crazy things, and y'all keep people making judgment on the brother. The brother done messed around. She probably had some deep throats, and he was like, "I'm gonna marry her. This is the rest of my life. I'm not giving this thing up." And then you realize, I talked about this on this morning about being able to take sex out of dating, so you can really get to know a person, really get to know them as a person, and not just be swayed by their sexually goods or their sexual prowess. This is just another case of it where you could actually sex sways things and changes your way of thinking and makes you think things that are not actually there. This sounds like a brother who got caught up 7 months. I don't need one because she's my everything. She's that person that God created for me. She done hit him with the Gawk 3000.
It don't matter. Everybody's so quick to be like, oh, well, marry that you know who you want to marry after X amount of time. Okay, now you married this person after 7 months of knowing her. You thought she was the one. In 7 months, do you really know somebody in 7 months? Now look, it's been 7 years, and now she want half your shit, and you mad.
You absolutely right. Facts, but that's not the case. We're not talking about that. We're talking about should she.
I'm just saying, with that much money, him being a lawyer, he should have had a prenup. Pinky, you 150% right. If he was a smart lawyer, he would have got a prenup.
You can't call him a smart lawyer. You can't say if he was a smart lawyer because if he got caught up in his emotions and caught up in his feelings, that don't mean nothing.
This is what Pinky said to that. All right, somebody on Instagram. Is this Anthony? Hi, Anthony. He said no. If they leave that person, they should leave everything, including the money. and assets. Oh well. It all depends. Where was his friends and family to stop him? He ain't had no good ones. That's the problem.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's my sister. So be nice. He ain't had no good friends, Tasha.
This is sad.
He ain't had no good friends. Because they would have told him to cut that bullshit out. I'm just saying, it is what it is. Now, do I?
No, it's not. Stop saying that. That's that.
It is what it is. If she get it, she get it. She asking for it. You the one that married her without no prenup. If she asking for it, and the judge say, you know what, here go your 50, then she get that 50. It ain't up to nobody. It's up to the judge.
It's not
and
up to the judge.
As though she deserves. If then who make the decision on whether or not she get 50% of his of 50%?
That's what we talking about today.
It is up to the judge if she asking for it.
Yeah, if you can't come to a compromise, the judge steps in. And I just want to clarify. I just want to clarify from the conversation that we had last week with the Iman Shumpert and Tiana Taylor thing. It was a judge that, that ruled he had to pay all of that stuff. It wasn't both of them saying, I want to do this in totality. It was the judge who ruled to give her all of that stuff. So that's my whole point of the whole thing with marriage and divorce, and the fear that a lot of successful men is dealing with the unfair court system is like, from a financial aspect, is it even worth it? Is it even worth it? Because, we can't compromise and say, like you said, this gentleman say, I don't want to give you 50% of what I already created. I already had the house, I already had the career, I already had the cars, I already had the prestige, I already had all of these different things. And you come in, and in your 7 years, whatever you helped me build, I believe you should be you should get a percentage of what you helped me create, not what I already had. Problem is, and we talk prenups. Prenups can be challenged. Prenups can definitely be challenged. Let's not think that because you got a prenup that it's set in stone and it's iron. That's what we're gonna go by. No, prenups can be challenged for a different set of reasons. But at the same time, now we're in this marriage. I'm already established, and you want. Go ahead.
But you don't think that a prenup give you a little bit more fight in the game?
It can.
More than what y'all already decided on before y'all got married?
I mean, you may not decide on anything before you get married. It may be love and love. That's why they say, like, when you go in the business of marriage, love don't really have anything to do with it.
Love ain't got shit to do with marriage anyway. I'm so sorry.
Different people, different strokes for different folks, and I get it. But when you come into a situation like this with somebody who's already established, should I part with what I already had? Now, we already established that you have community asset states. It's only, what did I say, Derek, before? It's only 9 or 10 community states,
right,
where you get 50, you can get 50% of everything. Other states, it's up to the judge, or if you can compromise before you get to see a judge. So that whole 50-50 split, and did I agree on it? All of that's, something that you have to deal with from state to state, from state to state.
Absolutely.
So a lot of people don't understand that. So when they see these divorces, you wonder why some people may file in California versus New Jersey, because we comment on these conversations not really understanding from the point of their reality. You know what I mean? Their reality is totally different. You got people that got different homes in different states.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like this person's sitting on 20 million. Yeah, this person's sitting on 20 million already. You come in with your 2,000, but now after, 5 years, now you want half of my 20 million? That's ridiculous. But if you file in a certain state, you may be able to get it. I don't think that that's fair. I truly don't. I don't think that's fair.
I think.
Uh-oh.
We're going to go to the comments. Jackie Love says, that's why many see marriage as a business transaction now. My question is, why was this not an issue in the past? Was it because in the past folks was really marrying for love, or because both parties were broke?
Capitalism definitely came into play. Assets versus liability. You're talking about people who really didn't have much. You know what I mean? You're talking, us in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. We had bigger problems on our hands. We had more fight outside. We had to be together back then. You had people truly fighting for their lives. Like you had to be together. You had to fend for one another. I mean, nowadays, like people fighting because of the most minuscule things.
Anthony said, Instagram, he said, Amon got school royalty. I'm sorry, she got 4 houses, a one-time 7-figure payment, $8K a month in child support, and a Maybach, a Benz truck. Shaking my head, he doesn't even play ball anymore. So how is that even remotely fair?
Yeah, it's definitely not fair. Like just by what they walked away with alone, it's not a 50-50 split. Like it's 4-2 is not equal. Like we're not, like I wouldn't even argue that. That's why I say it was done in a courtroom by a judge's ruling.
And the judge made that decision, and he said that's what she gets, so that's what she get.
But that don't make it right. That don't make it right, because a lot of history tells that the court system has been biased. The court system has been biased, and that's why I say
the court system uses our finances as punishment. So if you are the reason why your marriage is over because you stepped out of your marriage or anything like that, when it comes to the man, if the man was the main reason why the marriage is torn apart, they'll be punished by their finances. So because this woman gave her life for you, is why in X, Y, and Z, we're going to take all this money from you because because you didn't honor your vows, and now you're going to have to pay for it, when it shouldn't be that way. Like you should not be penalizing me according to my finances. Like my penalization should be the fact that my marriage is over.
Yes, I'm losing my wife. Yeah.
Right. Not I'm gonna lose the shirt on my back.
Everything I worked for.
Right. But they want you to feel the sting of cheating. And that's why most judges really come down hard when you're the one that's been cheating. But it's never on the other side. If the female was cheating, but they're not the one who was the primary breadwinner. Is like, well, what do you want? She wasn't the primary breadwinner, but you're still gonna do X, Y, and Z. It's always one-sided, which brings us to what the topic tells us, talks about, especially when we in today's society where most women are saying, I don't want to go 50-50, and a lot of men up here who are saying a man is not a real man if he wants his woman to go 50-50. But everything is, people want to say 50-50, but when it comes to divorce, then we don't want to 50-50. So these men who up here talk who jerking their own dicks off, it's like, oh, you're not a real man if you want your woman to go 50-50. You not this and you not that. But when they get divorced and they lose half of everything, I want to see if they're still coming off with that same energy of you not being a man. Now that you took care of everything, and now she's coming for you. She's coming for your neck, and your car, and your house, and half your bank account.
I get it. And I think what Pinky said.
Shouldn't that order what go on in the marriage as well? Shouldn't that be, because you got some women that are housewives. What happened?
You have some people that'll do what?
I say you have some people that are housewives, so they can't go 50-50 if their job is being a housewife.
Right. But you have some people who don't.
I think it all depends on the situation and the way that they live as well.
I can agree with that. I can understand. I won't say I'd agree with it, but I understand, because
I get it.
Right. If you chose to stay at home and he says, well, I got the house, I got the bills, you just make sure the kids and stuff is cool, then that's an agreement that you've made. But when you meet a female or you meet a woman and she tell you she don't believe in 50-50 and the man is supposed to be the sole provider and all the rest of that good stuff, does that constitute her being equal to or available to?
But didn't you go into that agreement as well, though?
No, you went into the ideal.
Isn't that an agreement?
No, it's not an agreement. Me fulfilling what you want is not an agreement.
So if you want your woman to pay 50-50 before y'all get married and stuff, and y'all living together, right? And you like, okay, I want you to pay 50-50, and she's telling you that's a no-go for me. I'm not paying 50 and nothing. But yet you still decide to marry this woman that don't want to pay 50% into the marriage because you telling her you're going to provide for her, you're going to take care of her. Now, whatever happens, y'all get married, and then whatever happens, and y'all get a divorce, she still shouldn't be looking at you to help provide for her, since that was the agreement that y'all made in the first place.
It was not an agreement. You just married her. You married her knowing that you fulfill her expectation. That's not an agreement. My agreement is just like I said, when I say I have the bills and you take care of the house and make sure the house is straight. You don't need to work. You stay home, you take care of the kids, you make sure the house is cool. I got the bills. That's an agreement. If
you're saying beyond that, you're not obligated.
Right.
But
if anything happens.
What happened?
You still went and signed that contract they call marriage, knowing what knowing what you two people have discussed. You still married because so that's not agreeing to the fact that she don't have to pay 50.
No, that's you fulfilling her desire, and that's what we're supposed to do as husbands. If you say, babe, I want a bag for my birthday, and he goes out and gets you a bag, did y'all have an agreement that he was going out to get you a bag? Or did he
buying
just
fulfill buying a bag and taking care of the house and paying bills? That's something totally different, because that's something it is, because that's something that you know that you're going to be fully responsible for the rest of your lives, because she already said I'm not doing the same thing. So if you don't agree with it, then why continue?
I cannot agree to one to get you a $600 bag. But I know you want it, so I went and got it. That's not an agreement. I just fulfilled what your want. You told me what your desire was, and I fulfilled it. If you tell me, hey, I don't believe in 50-50, and I'm like, okay, but I want to give you your desires. So I go give me a second job and do all the rest of the stuff to make sure that the bills are taken care of. I'm fulfilling your desire. Your desire is not to have to work. But if your desire is not to have to work, I fulfilled that desire. And if we end up getting a divorce, why do you get half when I was the one that went to work and had to work 2 jobs to get us to where we had to get us the things that we have, and now you get half of it because I fulfilled your desire. It wasn't an agreement.
So that's what I'm hearing from Derek. That's what I'm hearing. I come with who I am. This person comes with their expectations of what they want in a situation with me. I do my part. They stay home and whatever happens. This don't proceed into future for life. I fulfilled what I was supposed to fulfill in our situation. Are you obligated after our situation is fulfilled, or, once we decide to agree to disagree, when I was already doing what I was already doing and you did nothing?
But that's not even a situation.
What you mean? The situation is marriage.
All right, but you married that person already knowing what it was. You married her, which means y'all agree. To me, that's an agreement. Okay, I'm gonna just put it
I'm getting an understanding. I'm getting an under.
Because you're basically.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry.
For me, it's like you're basically when somebody is telling you that this is something that they don't do, and you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna go out here and I'm gonna get a second job to make sure that we have and this, and the next. Mind you, you're not married to this person yet. So if that's something that you don't agree with or you don't want to do, then why are you doing it?
Point is that
because you don't know if you're getting a divorce for the rest of your life. That's what you agreed upon, right? You decided to doing this.
The understanding that I'm trying to get from Derek's point of view is, when I, like, in this situation, I'm not talking about millionaires. I'm talking about everyday working people, right?
Yeah.
But holding it down. Now you want to be a housewife or whatever. You want to stay at home, and maybe you got kids, maybe you don't. And I'm continuing to do exactly what I've been doing. You just moved in. I'm continuing to take care of my home the way I've always taken care of my home. You came in, you help, you cook, you clean, or whatever you choose to do. We choose to split after 3 years. You deserve my pension now?
But that's different from just moving in with you. You married.
Say that again?
You married.
That's what I'm asking. So I married you, but nothing changed. I'm doing exactly what I've done before. Should you be obligated to my pension now?
I'm not going to use the word obligated.
But that's what you're not going to use the word obligated.
You're not obligated to anybody's money. You're not.
I'm waiting for your answer.
That you're not entitled to it. But that's
what I'm getting.
That don't mean I'm not gonna ask for it. And if I get it, then I get it.
But that's what I think that Derek is speaking on, and that's what I wanted to go back to what Pinky said. A fair is somewhere with rides and this, that, and the third. But we talk about fairness. We talk about fairness when it's one-sided, because when Mary J had to give all of that money she had to give, her husband that she was divorcing was a bum. We didn't see fairness in that. We didn't see fairness in that. When Holly Berry had to pay her baby father all of this money per month, we didn't see fairness in that. And that's what I mean by dealing with our community as from a human point versus a biased gender point of view. Because sometimes, like I'll see one person get railroaded. Let's say if I see a man get railroaded in a divorce, you'll see women celebrating that. Celebrating. That's right, girl. Get them for everything that you could. But like I said, if it was your son, if it was your nephew, if it was your cousin, that person would be everything but a child of God. But you let a woman get railroaded, the man is all types of bums. When he asks for the same thing that if you flipped it, the woman asks for in the same situation. Mary J was the breadwinner. Her husband was the manager or the person that was taking care of certain affairs. When it split, I don't know the particulars, she had to pay. But in the same women that I normally see celebrate when women get money in divorce, he was a bum. He need to get a job. Same thing with the woman. She need to get a job. But the sisterhood ain't gonna allow you to do that.
Oh God, here we go with this damn sisterhood. Whatever.
I just speak in reality to it.
Instagram, Anthony says, but not everyone is a housewife. You get some women who make more than men do. They can still go out and cheat, but when they divorce, they still make out better than the men. Okay, I can agree with that. And Black Culinary says, yeah, but you're entitled, but you're not entitled to the extras after you're no longer married. That's why prenups are perfect, because we get to spell out the perimeters and leave how we came in.
Yeah, I get it. That's why last week I used the Janet Jackson character and Why Did I Get Married? 2. That's why I used that. When she was on her book tour and when they were splitting and they were splitting their assets, they were selling the house and they was, split the money to the house. And he was like, no, what about the book? And it was like, well, that's my book. You ain't got nothing to do with that. And he was like, well, I stayed up late nights with you. I was the subject that you was asking questions and doing all of these different things. So why shouldn't I be obligated to the same things that you think that you're obligated to on my side? So I think it's a gender bias when we deal with this type of situation, because it's not normal. It's not our...
That Janet Jackson scenario, we still have to understand one thing. She didn't have a problem with nothing that he was asking for, except when it came to her book.
Right. But that was a part of the marriage.
That's when she lost her damn mind.
But that was a pain in the marriage.
But that was right? because the money that they were splitting up was the thing they were splitting up was mostly his stuff. But when it came to tapping into what was hers or what she felt was hers, that
was the problem.
And that's when it became a problem. But I think it's a good time to pause and check in on one of these other videos.
Is every asset that you've accrued during your marriage split 50-50 when you get a divorce? Not usually, because doing so doesn't really make logistic sense. Here's an example. Let's say that a husband has $200,000 in his retirement accounts and a wife has $50,000. In this scenario, each party would be entitled to $125,000 of retirement funds. So instead of dividing each account individually, we could transfer $75,000 from the husband's account to the wife so that both parties end up with $125,000 in their retirement accounts. However, let's say that there's also a house and the house has $150,000 in equity and the wife wants to keep it. It might make sense for the wife to keep her retirement and the equity in the house and the husband keep his retirement. This would leave both husband and wife with $200,000 worth of assets with no assets to actually divide. Every case is looked at individually, but it is rare to split every asset that exists.
I agree. Every situation is different.
Oh, yeah, of course. Every situation is different. But here's the craziness of it. If she wanted the house, they would say, give her the house. But what if he bought the house? What if he paid for the house, the upkeep of the house? What if he paid the taxes on the house? But in the divorce, he's still losing the house, even though he gets to keep his his retirement portfolio, but he still loses the house.
I agree, and I was going to touch on that before when you because when we speak 50-50, it's always related to finances. It's always related to finances. When in a relationship, it's more than just finances.
Right.
It's more than that. You know, it's like when you have a home, like, because you have a lot of people that may chime in that don't understand what it takes to not just build a home but maintain a home.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, the mortgage is the mortgage. But you like to see these nice backyards and the pool and the upkeep of the pool and the sprinkler systems going in the basement and the TVs is up, all of these different things. So as you going in this marriage or relationship, you're cultivating this. You're doing all of these different things to make your life, you know, better as far as the aesthetics of your home and everything that you want to make yourself comfortable, to come home to a, you know, a nice, serene place. You know what I mean? So when you're talking 50-50, you're talking emotional, you're talking spiritual, you're talking physical, you're talking financial, you know, you're talking about me protecting you. Protecting you is more than just physical. You know what I mean? I have to protect you in a lot of different ways. You know what I mean? If you had a blowout in the rain, you know what I mean? I got to be the one to make sure I get there and tell you to take my car. I'll handle this. That ain't 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody busts through these doors, and you know I'm locked and loaded. I'm locked and loaded, ready to go. You bust through these doors, I'm going to take the bullet. I have to protect my family. I have to die for my family. That ain't 50-50. When I'm cutting the lawn outside and cleaning the pool and all of those different things, I just need some lemonade or some water. Like my daughter come out with a bottle of water, like, hey, it's thirsty, and give me a bottle of water. And some things ain't going to be 50-50 on her side. You know, but 50-50, when I hear this, is more than just a dollar amount. There's a lot that go into it. I think people pay too much attention to the financial aspect of this thing versus everything else.
Facts.
Capitalism fucked us up.
Sure did.
You know, this Instagram life, wanting to get flown out and wanting to do this and wanting to do, like, people don't even know what it means for that. That's why when I see these conversations and I see how it pan out and how people be talking, I be like, they have no clue. They have no clue. You probably ain't even got a passport. Probably ain't even got a passport. Some people be online just having conversations just because they got lips and they got fingers. That's it. It's weird and it's sad because you truly don't understand what it means to really build a home if you're talking a certain way. It's more than about money. It's more than about money. I mean, me being in my home, I had to rebuild, you know, I rebuilt my kitchen. I redid the whole backyard, built the pool, built the basement, put the sprinkler systems in, did all of these different things. That's not 50-50. But she did things on her side that superseded maybe where I was or what I had done. I mean, so I may be 70-30 over here, but she may be 70-30 over there. You know what I mean? It's always going to be, you know, a push and a pull, a give and a get. You know what I mean? You're not going to be halfway down the line with everything. When it came to the cars, she didn't have to touch no cars. The insurance came right out of my accounts. When it's time to service the cars and get oil changes and get the tires rotated and all of them different things, she probably didn't even know that it was done.
Right.
You didn't even know that it was done. Probably don't even know what a tire rotation is. Didn't have to worry about a car note, pay cash for the cars. Didn't have to worry about it. I mean, so when you have, you know, a true situation that you're moving as a unit, you don't think about those things. That's all people with agendas.
Mm-hmm.
That's all people with agendas. When you're moving as a cohesive unit and things have to really get done, it's never a time where she'll say, hey, you got to pick the baby up, or pick, I don't want to say my daughter's name, but pick my daughter up, or this, that, and the third. I ain't going to say, well, I picked her up last time. This time you pick her up. No, we got to handle this.
Right.
We got to take care of it. Because I know that on that side is going to be things that she may have to handle that I don't have to worry about. So that's what a lot of people don't understand. This is people that's transactional. If you ever hear what transactional relationships, it's based on transactions.
That's profound.
And it's sad. It truly is sad, because people don't look at humanity no more. Is what can I get? What can I get? What can I obtain? It's weird. It's weird. And whatever people feel about it, they feel about it. But I just think it's so weird and it's disgusting, because you can't authentically, organically just be yourself, because you constantly have to worry about if somebody trying to get over on me. Like if you're going into a relationships with somebody and you got to worry about if this person going to get over on me, you can't even truly be yourself openly, because you constantly worry about if you're being finessed.
Yep.
Remember, like we said before, there was that poll that said, 1/3 of women go out for just a meal versus, if the person likes somebody. And I'm not trying to, be a bias. I'm just using this as an example. That person can't even, just say, I want to go out with this person because I like this person. This person might just be there because they're hungry. It's weird. It's weird. The dating market is it can be a very, very strange place.
Factuals.
Keith says social influence ruin genuine relationships.
Facts.
Yeah, I can see that. You got genuine people. You got very, very genuine people out there, but I believe that, yes, we're more, people are more selfish, and a lot of people look to what they can obtain for themselves. The bag, like I told y'all before, it was probably like 20 shows ago. I'm so tired of this bag. Everything's about the bag. It's the bag. Oh, we got to get the bag. Like, you just messed up a whole relationship because you worrying about a bag. I heard somebody say a long time ago, when you speaking on, when you go to work, it's about your passion. It's about your passion. It ain't just about, the money is going to come.
Right.
When you speak, when money comes up in a conversation, God walks out of the room.
Come on, somebody.
Because it ain't all about the money all the time. It ain't all about the money all the time. I get it. We got to live. But if I see value in you, in your passion, in your heart, me as the person I am, if I have resources, whatever, I'm going to pour into you, because I know I ain't dealing with somebody that's trying to hustle me or somebody that's trying to get over on me. I see your passion. I see how you work. I like that person right there. I like her. She's really into what she's doing. So I'm going to put my resources and I'm going to put, my power into you, because I know that it's genuine and it's organic, versus this person over there where he just trying to hustle. Like, you ain't even trying to do a good job. You just trying to get the job over with because you want the bag.
Get to the bag.
Well, I said it before, and I'm gonna say it again, and I'm gonna say it again, and I'm gonna say it again. Nowadays, people don't marry for love. They marry for every other thing but love. Whether it's because they broke and they got a man that got money, they marrying the bag.
But historically, it never was about love. Historically
it's not, but we're not living back in the historic times. We living now. And in this day and age, and in the world that we living in right now, that's what it's about.
No, I'm agreeing with you.
People get married for the wedding. They don't get married for them to be married. They get married because they want a big ass expensive wedding and they want to show off.
No, I'm agreeing with you that it ain't about, for the most part, it ain't about love now. It's never been about love, but now it's about something else versus cultivating and building in family and all of those different things. Now it's about the bag.
Yeah.
Like I said before, we had to fend for our lives. Like it wasn't no like I always say, it wasn't about Dubai and Mercedes Benzes. It was, you know, you can get hung. Like, so you had to fend for each other. You had to, but when capitalism came into play and attached themselves to our culture and moved it, you know, for the most part, not everybody, of course, and moved it from family and you know, the unit to money, that's where we had the problem. Because now I'm gonna get everything that I can get, no matter who I hurt or who is affected by it. You got some people that they'll borrow $50 from you, and they'll say, and you'll say, "Hey, I'm looking for that. Oh, you worry about that little $50? It wasn't a little $50 when you asked for it. I'd rather beef with you and not talk to you versus working out how I can get you this money back." So I don't want to move the goalposts or move the conversation. I'm just speaking on how selfish we got and how capitalism came into play, because you have a mindset now of the bag and capitalism, and you know, to where it's not about family as much. That's why, Derek, remember I tagged you in post that was probably 10 years old where I was saying the same thing. Let's get back to family. Remember that?
Right.
I was saying that years ago. Uh-oh. What's time to talk about?
I don't know what time he's talking about.
Well, he said, I don't think it was capitalism. I believe it was what?
Marxism.
Marxism. Whatever that is.
Oh, God. Okay, what Pinky talking about?
When people try to belittle what you did for them, we're like, "Oh, I'll give you that little $30 back for that. You get your stinking $50." When it wasn't stink or little. When
you
asked for it. Yeah.
I think that, and I agree with Keith to a certain extent. It's for me and how I see things. I think it's only a very small few that still believe in tradition when it comes to marriage, but it's not many that do anymore. Not now.
Oh, this is tough, and I'm trying to word it the right way about tradition. I think the whole thing of capitalism came into play and screwed up what tradition really is. Because I remember somebody said, it was a young lady, and she was saying, men want traditional wives, but I'm supposed to work, come home, cook, clean, blah, 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 and all these different things. And I had just said to her, I was like, I think you devalue what men do as well. I said, but okay, we're talking a traditional woman. right? Cook, clean, take care of the kids, and such and such, such and such. I said, but you don't want a traditional man. You don't want a true, regular, everyday traditional man. You don't want that, because a lot of those women that was on that post, you guys like a lifestyle. You like a lifestyle. So I said, if you had a regular 2-3 family house, a 2-bedroom apartment or a 3-family house, right? Follow me on this. You had a regular car. You had a nice little Civic, right? You know, whatever. I don't want to offend anybody, but you had, you know, it was no Birkin bags, or it wasn't no Louis Vuitton. It was no whatever. You just got a regular bag from Target. You have a regular, because when we're talking about traditional in the 50s, 60s, 70s, or whatever, there was no marketing and promotion. There was no luxury lifestyles like that. Now, what we're talking about, what you want a man to provide. You want a man to provide trips. You want luxury cars. You want your hair done. You want your nails done. You want your feet, your pedicure, your manicures. You want your iPhone. You want your iWatch. You want to go out every other weekend. You don't want to just go to the Chinese restaurant where we used to get those. The chicken wings was actually like 6 chicken wings for like $2.50. I mean, you want, Ruth Chris. You want to live, and I get it. I'm not saying anything about it, but that's not what tradition was for then. Back then, they ain't even have cable, right? They ain't even have cable. They ain't have cell phones. They ain't have, the watches. They ain't have Birkin bags. They ain't have none of these different things. So implement all of these new things that we have to, as men, entertain and take care of. That's not what tradition is. Tradition is you got a roof over your head, you got clothes on your back, you got food in your mouth. That's what it is.
But then if that person didn't come and if that person didn't come into that relationship with all of the materialistic things that you just listed.
What person you talking about? What person? What person, a man or the woman?
Either or.
We're talking about tradition, man, woman.
All right, but do it matter whether it's the man or the woman? When you got into that relationship, if one had more than the other, or whatever, and that person that didn't have as much as you had didn't come into that relationship like that, and now you are giving that person all these extra things that they never had before, and this is what you've been doing for 10, 15 years, and now they're accustomed to it. Who did that?
But accustomed to luxury is not the tradition of my grandfather, is what I'm saying.
It's not. But at the end of the day,
so we can't
that man that you're starting to create.
So you're accustomed to
you're talking about the topic, which is entitled. Are you entitled to that 50-50? If you didn't come in that way, and if y'all built something together, and y'all both built whatever to get all these nice luxury things, that's one thing.
That's the one thing, yeah.
That's one thing. You're entitled to. Y'all are both entitled to split y'all stuff evenly, or whatever, however y'all, built what you built. But if you didn't come in with anything, and then you get a divorce and you're leaving and you got accustomed to all of this and all of that, some women ain't trying to hear, oh, okay, I'm just gonna leave with what I came with. No, because they're used to that lifestyle, because that's the lifestyle that you got them.
That's the point, and I think that goes back to what Pinky was saying, where now you have to go into prenuptials, because if you're saying you're going to be a traditional woman, if you're going to be a traditional woman, you're going to cook, you're going to clean, you're going to take care of the kids, right? That's what you think tradition is. And it's like, okay, you want a traditional woman like my grandmother, then you got to be a traditional man like my grandfather. That ain't got nothing to do with Birkin bags. That's luxury. That's luxury. So if I already obtained all of these things, if I already have all of these things already in place, that don't obligate you for what I already obtained. I already got it.
But
I already got it.
But if
and to be honest, and to be honest,
or within that marriage, you don't feel
if that's the case,
if you don't feel as though she deserves something.
That's what I was about to say. If you help cultivate something, or if you help build something, but if you're just taking care of the kids, you cleaning and you cooking, you're not helping me build Amazon.
And it was at this moment he knew that his
you didn't help me. You didn't help me build something. Yes, I believe moving forward, I should take care of my children and help you for a certain amount of time. But you shouldn't get 50% of what I created, because you didn't help create anything unless you help create it. I don't have a problem with that, but don't say you want a traditional man and think that your lifestyle is within that, what you feel is tradition, a traditional man, because your eyelashes and your wig and your toenails, that's your obligation. That ain't mine coming into a marriage or a relationship. That's what you need to take care of for yourself. If I choose to help you with that moving forward, then that's what I choose to do.
If you say so. Derek, you've been mighty quiet. So.
Don't we got another video?
You've been mighty quiet over there, Derek.
I wasn't quiet. I was talking this whole time. You was why you was just the face in the circle.
Do you think after a divorce it's fair to have a 50-50 split of assets?
Fuck no. That is ridiculous to me. Like,
what?
no.
Ooh. Oh, I saw some eyebrows. I'm looking forward to these explanations.
I think what you bring into the marriage is what you should leave with. I think a prenuptial agreement should just always be a mandatory thing that you do, because, like, how are you going to explain, say, a guy and his family have, like, had a family-owned business and then he marries some girl and then they've got to halve that? I think that's ridiculous. I think you need to, unless that girl wants to, like, be a more submissive partner, but if most women aren't these days.
Uh-oh.
She got kicked out the sisterhood.
Look, that's what Kyra doing right now. She texted the sisterhood, like, whoever it is, B is, she need to go.
Yep.
Everybody texted the sisterhood. I don't see nothing wrong with what she said. I don't see nothing wrong with that.
I think that spirit.
If you leave with what you come in there with because you didn't bring anything into that marriage, then you leave with what you came in with. He leave with what he came in with. I don't see anything wrong with what she said, but it's just like she also said, okay, if the woman is a little bit more submissive, and what that means I don't know, but I don't know. I don't use that type of vocabulary. And she's the housewife and she's taking care of everything and she's taking care of you for how many ever years, then she should leave with something.
Taken care of, I think we have to go in the definition of that, but I get it. I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I just believe that that spirit of selfishness and greedy, I think that's really messing up the organic unions that people, would really like to come in and build, because you got so many people that's selfish and greedy, and you don't know who's who. You don't know who's who nowadays. It's like, and even when we speak on here sometimes, I remember like a couple shows ago, and I was saying that you can have a 5-foot woman yelling in a man's face that she'll whoop his ass and such and such. I was like, you don't think that is something wrong with that? And the sisterhood wouldn't even allow the host Kyra to say, yeah, she is wrong. That sisterhood strong.
Very strong. It's a very strong sisterhood.
That sisterhood strong. It wouldn't even. And you said you know, Derek. Remember that? She even said to me, because I don't want to say what you want me to say when you want me to say it. No, I was just saying that if you have a 5-foot woman in the face of a 6-foot man telling him to suck her dick and I'll whoop your ass, like, that's not provoking. And you couldn't come to. So what I'm saying is, the same way that we have to hold the culture accountable, we need women to do that as well. But it's hard. Like I've been on posts, I've been in conversations, I've been in forums, and it's hard for a lot of women to hold women accountable because of this sisterhood. But if you don't have women to hold them women accountable, how do we know who is who? Because nobody think they wrong. Nobody think they wrong. I seen one woman say, I ain't gonna say nothing to a woman because they just gonna now they gonna have a problem with me. Okay. But at the same time, I hear a lot of women say, hold up. I hear a lot of women say, I don't even like to hang with women because they messy.
Mm-hmm.
You know how many times I say that? But when we say that those same women are messy, you say, no, they're not. It's weird. It's weird.
If y'all around a bunch of messy women, what you want me to tell you?
No, I'm not talking about women we're around. It's situational. It's situational. We talking about a situation, and it's situational.
Everybody is messy. It's a lot of things that's messy. You got men that's messy. You got women that's messy. You got everybody messy at one point in life. Is messy.
This is so.
Everybody in the club is messy.
That's so much of a blanket statement. What I'm saying is, and what I've said in the past is, when we talking about men need to get their shit together, and men need to step up and be the leaders of the culture like they're supposed to be. Me and Derek can sit here and say, you're absolutely right. Men need to, those men need to get their shit together. If we sit here and say some women need to get their shit together and stop this whatever culture, or stop this, that, and the third, we'll get all of, let me say it. We'll get all the pushback in the world instead of hearing, yeah, you know what? Those women need to knock it off. Those women need to stop what they're doing.
And I don't disagree with you on that. You do have some women that need a little bit of training. Okay.
You see how you minimize? I'm just messing with you. But yeah, that's all I'm
saying. Anything. I'm just saying.
That's all I'm saying. I would like to see organic unions again, and men and women can actually go into the dating. You said it's never going to happen?
It's not going to happen.
It could.
Every generation that comes that comes up and comes up and comes up and comes up, it's just going to be worse and worse and worse and worse.
That's catastrophizing. No, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that.
You're going to have to worry about 50-50 because you ain't going to have too many people getting married no damn more, because you're going to have men that is like, oh, no, hell no, I ain't getting married because I ain't letting nobody take my money. Then you're going to have women on this side. I don't need no men. I'm not getting married.
I believe in sometimes you have to destroy and rebuild. If us as a culture can't see that our children, I'm gonna hope that if our culture can't see that our children right now is doing the worst that they've ever, the worst that they've ever done, we're in a worse position as far as culture that we've ever been. There's less unity. That if we united and really got back to our culture and supporting each other, we'll supersede everybody.
We would
supersede everybody. We'll knock everybody out of the box. But we're so divided. We're so divided. But if we can't see that, and I believe that we're in the destruction stage right now, as far as, because it's too many conversations about men and women and relationships and this and the kids and to where it's like we're gonna eventually have to have the healthy conversation.
Well, that brings us.
Yeah, if you could have, I'm sorry. You can have the healthy conversation, but is the conversation, you got to get the right people in the room to hear the healthy conversation. I
agree. And what did Pinky just say? Just so Derek, we can conclude.
She said, so now we going in on women being down for each other, but when men do it, it's cool.
No, I said that we need to be down for each other, the culture, not biased individuals.
No,
men need to fend for women. Women need to fend for men. If a man say, "Hey, this woman did whatever," we don't need the women saying. We don't need the women saying or siding with the woman that was actually wrong. If a man did something to the woman, we don't need the man siding with the man if he was actually wrong. We have to call out the bullshit instead of siding with the gender biases that's always happening. I read the first line and I disagree.
I'm sorry. Jeff says a woman cooking, cleaning, and taking care of the kids has nothing to do with building the family financially.
I disagree.
Man building financially is just building his wealth to provide for the family, but it doesn't take away his part in taking care of the kids, cooking and cleaning. So no, I don't believe a woman deserves 50-50 of his money or what he built. Let's face it, if no woman out there is just sitting home taking care of the kids, cooking and cleaning.
I'll say this, and whoever want to take it, they can take it. I disagree partially because in order for me to be able to do my job effectively, I have to be nurtured. I have to be fed. I have to be, if I'm working 12 hours a day, and I come home to chaos, how am I going to do my job effectively? She has to take care of what she needs to take care of, or what she should take care of. Yeah, I should come home to a nice meal. I should come home, the kids is already taken care of. The homework is already done. All of these things is already done. That's helping me. And that's why I said it's not just financially, it's mentally, it's physically, it's emotionally. So if I can come home and I come home to peace, if I come home to a peaceful home and the kids are taken care of and they're bathed and the food is ready and all these different things, that helped me with coming home to relax, to help get me prepared for whatever next is to come, versus coming home and have to deal with chaos and bullshit. So I believe she helps in me building finances, for the family. That's, to me, that's common sense. But, sometimes we don't word things the right way, or we don't put the things the right way. But I believe that every part, everything plays its part. It's harmonious. I truly believe that.
Well,
I wouldn't have to worry about it. I would, if I'm working 12 hours and I'm killing it, and I come home and she's killing it, the house is clean, the kids is ready to go to bed, the kids is clean and fed, and the food is ready, and I can come home and I come home to a place of peace. And when I walk in, the kids is, "Hey, Daddy, miss you, Daddy," and yeah, your dinner's ready and such and such. It's different from me coming home and everything is just in chaos. She had to do that. She had to create that. So I disagree as far as, I believe she'll deserve something. I don't believe she deserves 50. I don't believe it's 50%. I don't believe it's 50%, but I believe that he plays a part. I believe she plays a part in the process. I truly believe she plays a part in the whole process. I truly believe
that 80-20. We done came up. We done came up on our hour. So I just want to say thank you to everybody that tuned in. Y'all drop me in my, whether you inbox me or you leave it on the page, inbox us some suggestions of topics that y'all want to talk about. Thank you to all the new people that came in. Thank you to my sister for chiming in. And this is the last thing I'm going to say about this 50-50 marriage and all this other stuff that combined all together, is at the end of the day, if everybody stop taking marriage like it's a damn joke and not something that you have to work at, and getting married for these stupid ass reasons that y'all get married for, you won't have to worry about a 50-50 nothing. If you learn how to communicate and you learn how to work your problems out, instead of the first thing you do is go run to a lawyer and say, I want a divorce because of something stupid. Okay, you got to learn how to work out your problems in your marriage. Stop making decisions on your emotions, because your emotions are temporary. These decisions y'all making are permanent. So think before you do, and you won't have no problems.
Facts.
And on that note, does anybody else have anything to say before we leave out of this beautiful conversation?
I'll be quick. I just want us to get out of, when you're talking about 50-50, let's stop thinking that it's all financial, not just financially. You know what I mean? Everybody's position in the union isn't always going to be as financial as the other one. Everybody's emotional aspects in the union may not be the same as the other one. Everybody is not as, emotionally available as everybody else. Nurturing the children goes into it, taking care of the home, fixing the home, worrying about the cars, worrying about the vacations. It's more to it than just finances, being a selfless person. Like I said, if I'm mowing the grass, you can bring me something to drink. If you cooking, I can wash the dishes and take out the garbage. It's more to it than just finances. I think the capitalism came into play, and this whole luxury lifestyle came into play, and it screwed everybody up to think everything is transactional. The transactional relationships is screwing up the culture, screwing up how people think, because everything has a dollar amount attached to it. Sometimes it's not even about that. It's just peace of mind. It's, if I come home and I'm tired, can you just be, the peace for me to just unload everything that I, done seen throughout the course of a day, everything that I've been through, throughout the course of a day. The same is with you. If I come home and the kids been running around and they've been tripping and they've been this, that, and the third, I may need to come home and be the serenity for you. I mean, so stop thinking it's just financial. It's not just a financial transactional situation. It's more to it than that. And with that being said, let's get back to family.
Let's get back to family.
Absolutely. Let's get back to family. Whatever. But, y'all, thank y'all once again for tuning in. Please don't end up like the guy that we showed the video in the very beginning. Please, y'all, let's not end up upset and bitter and mad as hell. Because
he was hot.
Homeboy looked like he was about to call somebody to take care of her. He mad.
Was hot.
He was big mad. So if y'all want to end up like Homeboy, let's just understand that marriage is not a joke. And whatever reasons, if you are married or getting married, just get married for the right reasons.